Hey everybody, it's Jennifer at Studio J Company. Hello, hello, happy Monday. Come on in. We are in an event today and I am a couple minutes early, maybe a minute early. So I'm gonna give Janice a chance to come over. Carla is finishing up and I'll be up next. And I've got a fun patriotic, Carla was doing a patriotic project. I'm gonna do a patriotic project too. Because think about it, we've got several patriotic holidays over the next, we've got Memorial Day in May, 4th of July, and then we'll have Labor Day, because the summer's gonna fly by. So, hey Donna, hey Lori, hello, there's two Loris, Lori and a Lori. Hey Carolyn, hey Cindy, hey everybody. So, I love that. I've made these. I don't know if I've made these on here before. I know we made them in my private group last year. Maybe it was last year. So, hey Diane, hey Sue, hey April. Hello everybody. So let me think. I feel like I always do this. I feel like I'm missing something, but if I am, I'll be able to grab it as we go. Hey Glenda, how is everybody? Happy Monday. All right. Let me think. We'll give everybody a chance to pop in. Okay, there's Janice. She sprinkled me out. Thank you, Janice. Hey Wendy. Thank you, Diane. Okay, so we're doing patriotic. You don't have to do these patriotic. You could do them any way you want, but I'm going to do patriotic pinwheels. So like I said, we did these in my private group, but I don't think I've ever done them here on my page. So I'm gonna do them here with y'all. So what I did is I don't need this. I just grabbed some scraps of anything that's red, white, and blue, red, white, or blue. I've got some little red gingham. I think I got this at Goodwill. I got like a whole bunch of the red gingham, and I got some blue gingham, but it's a different blue. So I just grabbed anything that had red, white, or blue. Thank you for sprinkling me out. Crafting with Triple L. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let me see. Okay, I've got reds. I got some red stripe. And I got a red, cute little kind of retro flowers. And then some white with red polka dots, tiny polka dots. And then the rest are blues. There's a floral. There's another floral. Oops, wait. Take that. I've got polka dots. Got some stripes, and I have a little bit with some stars. Okay, now like I said, you don't have to do, you could do these non-patriotic. You could do them like, summery, like watermelon, or any colors that match your decor. Hey Karen, hey Laura, hey Jean. Clifton's Crafty Casa, she's up after me. Hey Amanda. Okay, so we're gonna make some pinwheels. If you're in my private group, if you were in there when we made these, I guess it was last year, we were just talking about them in the private group. I'm talking about doing them again. But, and y'all, my private group is open through, I think for 2 days. What's today? I think it's only open for 2 more days. So if you're thinking about joining, it's open for, I posted it on my page. There's a couple of different options, but I got some good projects. These are the things, I grabbed these. These are the projects we're making in May. I'm gonna have to hold something up in front of that one, but we're doing, I know it's backwards to y'all, but we're doing this little project, Sweet Freedom, with a little ice cream, because I wanted to do something patriotic. And then this one, I need to hold something up behind this because it's glass, so you won't be able to, here. Okay. They're faux dried flowers. Isn't that pretty? So it's like a sun catcher. You could hang it in a window. I have one hanging in my kitchen, like at my coffee bar, because I have a white backsplash. So it shows really, really well because there's a white background behind it. Isn't that cute? I love that. Love it, love it, love it. It's very springy. Very summery too. Okay, so I got my little iron heated up because I think we may need it. Hey Sarah, if I missed anybody, welcome in. Thank you for being here. We are in an event. It's with the Vintage Country Crafting Friends group, and it's a free group. I put the link in the description of this video. I know, don't you love it, Donna? It's gonna be so fun. I packed everybody a whole bunch of different flowers and then the frame and everything. So it's gonna be fun, and everybody's will be a little bit different because it was like hundreds of these flowers. So I was just kind of trying to give everybody a little bit of all the colors, and everybody got like a couple of butterflies and all that. Hey Lisa, hi y'all. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do, you can make these any size. You can make them bigger if you wanted to. But the first thing you want to do is make a template, a square template. That way you can get them all about the same size. Now, if they're not perfectly the same size, once you start putting them together, you can trim them up so that it lines up. Now, don't laugh. I don't have my ironing board up here. I wasn't planning to do this project, or I would have grabbed it. So I've just got some fabric here that I can use to iron on. Let me spread it out. Let's see here. Oh, I have to tell y'all. I have to tell you a funny story about this morning. If I forget, hang on a second. Remind me of early this morning. But let me go ahead and kind of get you going on what we're doing here. So you just want something square. So you can take a piece of paper, a piece of cardstock, or if you've got something that's square, to use as a template. If you don't have anything, you can just draw out a square. Take a ruler, draw out a square. I have a piece of, it was obviously part of a kit, and it's, let me see how big these are. It's about 4 1/4. Yeah. So it can be any size. You just want to make sure it's a good square. Okay. Hey, Helen. Hey, everybody. All right. So you're going to, now if you've got stiffer fabric, like a heavier weight fabric, it works really good. But if you don't, that ring light's blinking, sorry. If you don't, it's okay, because I've got some of that fusible webbing, you know, like that Wonder Under stuff that I had the other day. There it is. I'm like, I thought it did. So you can iron that on, and it's gonna make your fabric have a little more weight to it, make it a little stiffer. So the bigger your pinwheels are, the stiffer you're gonna want your fabric to be, or else they're gonna be real flimsy. So I got my fusible webbing. Hello, Callie. I see you there. Let me get this out because this is the only piece I have. This ticking, it's a little heavier. The rest of them are really thin fabrics. So I'm definitely gonna need some of this. And you can get this anywhere. You can get it at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I think I've seen it in Dollar Tree. I'm just not sure, but I feel like I have. Okay, so you're gonna want whatever template. Like I said, you can cut it out on cardboard or whatever. Hey Donna, first time watching, welcome in. My name is Jennifer. Welcome in, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so you're gonna take your template and you're gonna cut out well, I'm gonna cut out a piece of this real quick. It's just fusible webbing. And you just need one per pinwheel. Let me just cut this out real fast. And then for your pinwheels, you want to do two fabrics that you like together, because both sides are going to show. Does that make sense? So like I said, if you wanted to do this kind of summary, like say you wanted to do like a watermelon print, like if you had like a red polka dot, red with white polka dots would be cute, and then maybe a lime green fabric would be cute because that kind of looks like watermelon. Well, maybe. Hey, Carla. Okay, let me cut this out real quick. But I'm going to cut some of my fabric. I'm just going to pick a few. Like I said, if they're not perfectly lined up, once you put them together, you can trim the edges. All right, so I'm going to hold this to the side. I'm going to pick two. Let's do, I want to do one with blues, one with reds. Because like I said, I just grabbed all kinds of fabrics here. Let's do, how does that look together? Let's do the fun floral. I think these will be kind of whimsical, you know? Okay, so I already cut one. I was gonna try to be all prepared and do some of this in advance, and like I said, that I picked this at the last minute. So anyway, I just cut out, I already cut one of these out. Now let me cut a red one out. Have y'all made these before? I know the ladies in my group have, so I'm just curious who else. Hi Barbara, hi Connie. Hi everybody. Welcome in. We're making patriotic pinwheels. And like I said, they don't have to be patriotic. I just picked that. All right, let me cut this one. Y'all tell me in the comments if you've made these before. It's nice to see it done again. Oh, yeah, Donna, you just made some in the Crafters Challenge. By the way, I need to announce it in our group. The Crafters Challenge, the voting was through last night. And Diane, I see Diane in here. Diane Burns is the winner. Congratulations. She had that cute chicken. The Crafters Challenge, in our private group, I gave them a challenge, and so I sent in their little box. Every month they get a box with crafts projects in it, and I'm ashamed to say this, but I had 20. I think I had almost 20 pairs of chopsticks because I had gone, I haven't ordered from there in a long time, but I was on this kick with Yumi ramen noodle bar or something like that. Anyway, I was ordering ramen bowls, and then I got Greg hooked on them, so we were ordering ramen noodle bowls. They're really good. And they always send chopsticks, and we don't use the chopsticks, so they were going into a junk drawer. And I was like, oh my gosh, the junk drawer was full of these packs of chopsticks. So I sent everybody a pack of chopsticks in their bowl. And I challenged them to create something, anything. You just have to create something and include these chopsticks in your project. And Diane had created this chicken, and the chopsticks were the chicken's legs, and it was so cute. But it was so fun. And Donna had done these pinwheels, and the little the little stick was her chopsticks. So that's what made me just think of that. So congratulations, Diane. I got, you know what your prize is? I got, you know the frames that everybody's trying to find at Dollar Tree that are kind of fancy looking? There's an oval frame, and then there's that mirror. It's kind of a big mirror with a really fancy looking frame. I found some, so I've got a set that'll be the prize for this month, and I've got a set for next month too. So whatever the contest is next month, that's going to be the prize too. Unless you win, I guess if somebody wins 2 months in a row, I'll check and see if you want the same thing. It's usually not the same prize, but just in case it is. Hey, Ann. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I've got two. Let me get back to this. I've got 2 squares, 2 different red, white, and blue. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I need to put something down here. I'm just going to put a piece of parchment paper just in case my my fusible webbing is a little bigger or anything. I don't want it to get on this fabric. I'm using this fabric as my ironing board because I forgot to bring it up here. So, I'm just going to iron this on to one of my pieces, because once I iron, one side is rough. If you've never used this before, it's really cool. You can make iron-ons with it. So I'm going to line it up on here, and it is a little bit bigger. I probably didn't cut it super straight. So I'm going to iron this on. And I didn't read the instructions. I'm sure there might be a certain temperature you're supposed to put this on. I just turned this up on high. So I'm not sure what temperature it's supposed to be on. Hey, Sandy. Hello. All right, so I'm just gonna get it ironed on here. And then you're gonna peel, it's kind of like a wax paper backing. You peel that off, and it's gonna leave the residue part on there, the webbing part. If I can get it, I got it so close to the edge. Hang on. There we go. Okay, and when you peel it off, you can kind of see, like, you probably can't see it, but there's like a little sheen to it, you know, like a coating. So now with that on there, I'm gonna iron the back side. We're gonna say the ugly side to the ugly side of this one. Okay, backs to backs. So let's see. And if you have a print that has a pattern going in a certain direction, you might want to make sure they're, you know, lined up if they need to be. So hi Gloria, hello. Hey everybody, I see all these names popping in. All right, I'm just gonna line it up the best I can. It should be square, but like I said, if you don't cut it perfectly square, you can trim it up once you get these two together. So I'm gonna do the back sides together. And it's probably not a bad idea if you have, I get these parchment squares at Dollar Tree. You get like, there's 60 in here. Little parchment paper squares. They're great when you're doing iron-on stuff, or especially like fusible webbing and stuff. I don't want to get that residue on my iron either. So anyway, you're going to iron these together so they'll be stuck together and it'll be like one piece of fabric. Y'all, I can't see comments anymore, I don't think. I'm seeing names. It comes and goes. Like I said, every now and then it'll do that, and then it'll throw me a comment. I do go back and watch. Like, y'all probably got replies to your comments in yesterday's at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like replying to people. I could see all the comments when I went back and watched the replay. Okay, so now we have one piece. Okay. And I'm going to trim it up because you can see how you can see the other fabric poking through. So I'm just going to trim it the best I can. You don't have to be perfect, but you want to try to keep it in a square. Hey, Angie. Hi, Kimberly. Hello, everybody. So, I'm trying to trim up the edges a little bit. Okay, so I said I was going to tell y'all a funny story. I guess it's funny. It's typical. Okay, so we have on our back door, I guess you would call it our back door. It's the little door in our breakfast room that goes out to the back porch. Now, our backyard is fenced in. We have 3 dogs. We have it's a French door. You open the door and there's a storm door or a screen door. And the screen door has a doggy door in it, built into it. So we can just open the French door and leave the screen door shut, and the dogs can come and go as they please because the yard's fenced in. It's okay. Well, one dog, Maggie, will not go through the doggy door. If you hold it open for her, if you hold the flap, she'll come through, but she won't do it on her own. So every morning, Greg wakes up at like the crack of dawn. Well, it's not even the crack of dawn. It's before the crack of dawn. Still dark outside. And he usually won't let the dogs out that early because when it's dark out there, they bark at deer and all that through the fence and, you know, disturb the neighbors. So, but if they come running in the kitchen, like somebody's got to go out, he'll let them out. Well, he will usually open the door and open the screen door because Maggie won't go in and out. He'll open it and then he'll leave it open and he'll go and start his coffee, go to the bathroom, come back, he'll take his medicine, hoping that everybody will go do their business and come on back in, and then when his coffee's ready, he can just shut the door and go sit down. Well, I'm always saying, don't leave that door open. Do not leave that door open. I have this fear of something coming in the house. Something's going to come slip, especially in the summertime. I'm like, don't leave that door open. What if there was a snake or something on the back porch, like curled up under one of the, somewhere. So I'm like, don't leave that door open. Okay, sorry. And then he still does it. He does it all the time. So, but I'm asleep, so he thinks I don't know. But I always hear, because there's a Ring camera on the back porch, and it alerts me on my phone whenever there's motion back there. So it always wakes me up. So I heard it go off, and I looked and I saw that the screen door was open, and I was like, ah. So anyway, I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna say something later. So, okay, I know I need to get back to this. Anyway, he goes back in there and he shuts the door, and I hear Maggie barking her head off. And I'm like, what in the world? She was in the house. Everybody's in the house. Sometimes she'll bark for you to come open the door. Anyway, she's barking her head off in the kitchen. And then I see Greg. I can see his silhouette. And then he goes in the laundry room and shuts the door. And it's one of those sliding barn doors, but it's got the frosted glass windows on it. And I'm like, what's happening? Maggie's still barking. So I walk in the kitchen, and he's in the kitchen's dark, but the laundry room is lit up, and he's in there. And I'm like, what is he doing? So I'm standing there, and I hear chirp, 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 chirp. So I like knocked on the laundry room door. I'm like, what are you doing in there? And he said, a cardinal got in the house, and it's in the laundry room. So it was in the breakfast room, and he kind of got it into the laundry room, and he shut the door, so it was contained into the laundry room. He's like, I can't get it. He said, I opened the door to the garage, but it won't go out. So anyway, I was like, turn off the laundry room light and turn on the garage light, so it'll be in a dark room, and it'll go towards the light, right? So he did that, and it went out to the garage. And then, like a few minutes later, I opened the garage and peeked out, and I saw the bird flying around. He's standing there. I said, honey, the garage was open. He said, it won't fly out. And I said, okay, I'm going to turn off the light in the garage, and maybe it'll fly out. And sure enough, it did. So basically, wherever it was dark, it would fly towards where it could see. So I said, you're lucky it was just a bird, because if a snake comes in here, I'm moving out. I'm leaving. I will not live here if a snake comes in this house, because what if it has babies before we find it, you know? So, hey Carla, hey Jill, hi everybody. So I'm telling everybody how a bird got in our house this morning, but luckily he kept it contained to the laundry room, but I was like, what is going on out there? Okay, so I've got my square. Both sides are fused together, right? So what I'm going to do now, there may be a correct measurement. I'm not sure. This is just how I do them. You could take a ruler or any straight edge and line it up from this corner to the, opposite diagonal corners, and, kind of draw you a little line or something. I'm going to cut from each corner towards the center, but I'm going to leave a spot about the size of a dime, okay? So if you wanted to maybe put a dime there and measure it or whatever, I'm just going to eyeball it though. But you're just going to take and cut from the corner. Just go straight in towards the center, okay? And you're going to do that on every corner. Like I said, if you wanted to mark it so you know where to stop, if you go a little over, you'll be okay. I'm going to go in right there. You're going to do it from all 4 corners. Okay, so when you do that, you're going to have, you see what I did there? So all 4 corners, and it's still connected in the middle. Yeah, I'm glad we got it out, because many years ago, I had a wreath on the door outside, and a bird had made a nest in there. And this was years ago. My ex-husband, he used to leave for work. He would leave the house about 5 o'clock in the morning. And it would still be dark outside. And he opened the door one morning, and the mama bird was in the nest. And when he opened the door, she flew in the house. She flew past him. And he said he didn't have time. He said, I had to go to work. So he just left, and he was going to call me, later, because I was still asleep. And the kids were still asleep. Well, before he had a chance to call me, I woke up to our cat like leaping across the house. I mean, just this bird was flying loose in the house. And y'all, it pooped on everything. It was so disgusting. I woke up, I was like, what is going on? Okay, so we got it all cut, right? So what you're gonna do, I'm just gonna use hot glue. And I'm gonna take, and you're gonna decide, you can either go from the left, just lay it out in front of you, and either go from the left or the right. Whichever one you pick, you're gonna do that every time you rotate it, okay? I'm just gonna go from the left. So I'm gonna grab, it's backwards to y'all because my phone is flipped, so you're gonna grab one side, whichever side you want. And I'm gonna put a dab of glue right in the middle, and I'm gonna just fold it right up and hold it. Y'all, I burned my fingers so bad on that live yesterday. I have a blister. Remember I said I don't know if I'm peeling glue or my skin. It was bad. I have like a blister on my finger. Just that one finger. It's like a bubble on my finger now. I better get my, where is my thing? There it is. My little finger protector. Hey, Mary. Hi, Mitzi. Welcome in, y'all. Okay, so let me show you. So like I said, I just took one corner and folded it up right to the middle. Okay, so since I did that side, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do that same side, and I'm just gonna go up to the middle like that. Okay, so let me get back over here. So I had it here, did that side up to the middle. I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna do that same side up to the middle. If you work really fast, you don't have to keep gluing it, but you do want to make sure it sets up before you turn loose of it. You don't want glue strings. That one. And the last one. Hold it for a minute. Wow, we got 34 people in here. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. You've never seen these done before? What? Janice, I know. I would never guess that. Okay, so here's my first one. I'm going to add, can y'all see that? And you could add a button, a jingle bell, any embellishment you have. Let me see if I have any cute buttons that would go with this. You could put a star. I've got some little white stars here that I had cut out on the laser. Let me see. You could do a button and a star. And you know what? I brought my, you could go in and embellish, you know, once it's put together like this, maybe fray the edges a little bit, make it look kind of raggedy, because, you know, it's kind of cute. I'm going to take one of my acrylic markers. I'm just going to paint this star white. I think it'll stand out if it's white. Let's see. Oh, I got these markers. They're not really like they're not Posca pens or anything like that. But it just says acrylic markers. And I got them for $7.99 at Ross. And they work really, really good. To be, you know, just an off-brand. I think I might put this little white star. And then I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do with these. I might put a little red button, or if I have a blue button, maybe. Let me try this real quick. This is sounding, my heat tool is sounding sick, so some days it sounds okay, and other days it sounds like it's about to go. And then Melissa, she was on here the other day, and she was saying hers blew up while she was on a live using it. So now I'm paranoid. I might need to get a new. Greg was like, how much is it? I was like, 20, I think. I think I got it on sale for 20. He was like, just get another one. I'll take that chance. Okay, so I just got a little white star. You don't have Ross in Michigan? I love Ross. Oh my gosh. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so I'm gonna hot glue my little star right in the middle. That's where I got that big rabbit. Well, both of the rabbits that I painted for my porch, and then the dog that I tried to paint to look like Maggie, but its little snout was smaller than hers. You just put the pinwheels we made in private group last year out yesterday. I'm going to make more of them. We can make more in the group if you want to. Okay, so I got my little star in the middle. Let's stick. I do have some small red buttons in here. Let's do this. Okay, and then I just grabbed some skewers, you know, from Dollar Tree, or you can use chopsticks, or you use dowel rods, whatever you have. So next time you'll order Chinese food, or if you go to a Chinese restaurant, get some chopsticks to take home with you, because you could use them. And I'm gonna glue it onto the back, and you could do a little piece of, like a little piece of fabric. What color is this? This is red and white. I'm gonna cut a little piece just to put over it. And then figure out which way you want your stick to go. If you want it this way or that way. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Right. I'm gonna glue it up as high as I can. Give it a little support. And I'm gonna put this little piece of fabric just to kind of help it out there too. You could also do like a little piece of cardboard if you wanted to, just, or you know, cardstock or something a little sturdier. All right, see, I just did. Can y'all even see that? All right, so there's my first one. Let me hold something behind it so you can see. Is that better? So there's my first one. Okay, now this is just on a skewer, and you could put these like in a little bucket, or I'll show you. I'm getting ready to decorate this little picture. But look, here's some little flags that I made with some skewers. You could tuck it in, like if you do a whole bunch of these, or you could put, you know, do a little flower arrangement and poke them in there. Oh, look how cute that is. Just rag flags. Okay, so that's one thing you can do, is put them on a skewer. Where are we? We're about halfway. Okay, let's make another one and do something different with it. What did we do? We did polka dots and we did flowers. So let's do stars. And we could do stars and stripes. Do I have enough of this? Yeah, let's do stars and then the stripes. Okay. You want to make some? They're so easy. So easy. Okay. Again, let me just smooth this out. Some of this is really wrinkled. Okay. And like I said, just make your template. You could do, I think the ones we did in our private group were a little bit bigger. I think it was like a 5 or 6 inch square. Just make your square. You can make little bitty ones and make, like, string them on a garland instead of putting them on a skewer. Just string them to a whole bunch. So cute. So easy too. All right, let me just cut this out. This one I'm going to make, I'm not going to put it on a skewer. I'm going to do something different. Let's see. I got the sniffles. My allergies are kicking in again. All right, there's the red. And let's do some stars. It helps if it's really smooth. So if you got really wrinkled fabric, I'm gonna just kind of press it real quick. We could do these in the private group and do them smaller and make a garland. That would be fun. Since we did the bigger ones last time. Like I said, y'all, you don't have to do them patriotic. You could do sunflowers. You could do, you know, whatever holiday season there is. I just think they're fun for patriotic stuff. Yeah, even if you don't decorate for like, or if you just do Americana or whatever, if you don't decorate for the patriotic holidays, it just adds a little pop so you feel like you did decorate for the holidays. All right, let me grab another piece of that fusible webbing. Where's my little template? Curls up on you. Like I said, you can get this fusible webbing anywhere. I think this might have come from Amazon, but like I said, you can get it at Walmart. Sometimes it's called Wonder Under. Sometimes it's called Heat and Bond. But it'll say it's fusible webbing. Super easy. You did watermelon. That's right. They were so pretty. All right, so I'm just going to iron the textured side to the ugly side or the back side of your fabric. I do want to put this parchment paper down. Okay, so just make sure you do it on the back side. Oh, I should have done this one smaller. This would be cute on a little small version. Okay. And then peel that off. Peel the paper backing off. Like I said, it leaves like a coating on there. And then you're going to put wrong sides together, so back sides. Let's do the back side to the back side of that one. Oh, and another thing I was going to tell you, I was going to post a picture of the video. So some of y'all may have heard me talking about, this was, I don't know, a month or two ago when I had this suspicion that something sinister was happening next door because there was this truck with a flat tire sitting in the cul-de-sac for like 2 weeks, and I thought something happened to my neighbors. I haven't seen them. There's this truck. It looks stolen and blah, blah, blah. And remember I was telling y'all, I have this friend a couple houses down. He's a police officer. And I had gotten him involved. I'm like, help me out. There's something's going on. And they thought I was crazy. But anyway, he, gosh, it hasn't even been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. So there was, he's a police officer in South Fulton County, which is, Atlanta is Fulton County. But I don't think he's not like a city of Atlanta police officer. Well, anyway, he was, oh, I think I wrinkled that. He was on duty, and another police officer had done like a routine traffic stop. He had stopped, and you know, sometimes a police officer will stop somebody, and then another police officer riding by might stop to see if he needs assistance. Well, Chuck, that's his name, Chuck. Chuck had pulled over to see if this other officer needed assistance, and when he got out of his car, the man that was being pulled over started shooting, and Chuck got shot like 5 times. I mean, he was in ICU and all that. He got shot mostly. One of them went under his vest. like near his ribs. And then he got shot like in the arm, maybe twice, the leg. I mean, just, and he was in bad shape. But anyway, he got to come home yesterday, and I wrinkled this. I should have made sure it was smooth. I'm just not paying attention. Anyway, he got to come home yesterday, and our neighborhood, well, I'm going to post the video, but our neighborhood, in our neighborhood Facebook page, had mentioned that, because he's lived here, I've lived here 25 years. He's lived down there 20 years. But, so they let everybody know he was coming home. Y'all, he had, it must have been like 15 police cars, a police escort with the sirens and the lights going and coming through. And we live 1 mile. I clocked it one time because I was going to go walking. That never happened. But anyway, I clocked it in my car. We live 1 mile back from the entrance of this, our subdivision. So for 1 mile, you could hear the sirens coming. And they all came through the neighborhood and escorted him home. And it was so good. There were so many people, like so many people lining the street. They were all out in his yard. I know it had to get him. But there was little kids. There was little kids holding up signs that said, "We love you. We love you, Lieutenant Cook." And then one little boy had a sign that said, "Thank you for protecting us. I love you," and all this. It was so funny. And one little girl, her sign, bless her heart, her sign said, "Welcome, homo." It was supposed to say home, and she spelled it wrong. So I like screenshot it. I was going to send it to him. But it was so sweet. All the people. It was awesome. That had to move him, I'm sure. Can you imagine? But anyway, I recorded what I could. I might post it and show y'all, but it was so good, man, to see all those police cars. It was so loud too. It was so good. I told Greg, I said, I wonder how long it took him to get all those people out of the yard yesterday, because I'm sure he was ready to just go in and lay down, you know. He was moving really slow. Okay, so I've got my square. I'm just going to go, like I said, you go in from each corner, go towards the middle, try to keep it in line. And you can use a ruler or straight edge if you're not sure. If you're not real confident with keeping it straight, but just keep it straight as you can. Just don't connect them, or it'll cut the triangle out. You just want to leave like a little triangle on each side. Okay, so see. I don't know what happened. The weird neighbors are fine, and I don't know where that truck went, but Greg said, "You had it all planned. You had it all like worked up in your head." I wasn't sleeping, y'all. I was convinced they were maybe tied up in their house. I was convinced that truck was stolen. I don't know where it went. It sat there with a flat tire. I'm like, was it a door dasher and they called somebody to come pick them up? But why haven't they come back and picked up their car? I was like calling. Everybody's like, "Let it go." And I was like, no, something's up. And then it just disappeared one day. And the neighbors, I don't know them well enough to go over there. I don't want them to think I'm crazy. You know, I'm that crazy neighbor that was all up in their business. And, you know, I don't know. They could have been on vacation, but I still don't know where that truck went or anything. Okay, again, I'm going to start with whichever side you start with. I'm going to start with the left. I'm just going to put some glue in the middle. And you just fold the corner up to the center. Hold that down. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, I was like, what if they're tied up in there? Greg's like, "You're going too far with this. What if they need my help?" I was like, somebody could have broke down and then went into their house in the middle of the night, tied them up, and took their car. Because I didn't see their car for like a week or two. Maybe it was a week. I don't remember. Yeah, they're back. I mean, and their cat, I see their cat now. So where were they? And where was the cat? I have questions. I watch too much crime TV. And I watch too much of these, what is it? What is it called? Oh God, what's the word? Cartel. I watch too much of these cartel shows. I gotta stop that. I dreamed the other night that it was when I had these allergies real bad, and I couldn't breathe and all that, and I dreamed that Greg was like, I have an idea, this might help, and he got a machete, and he was gonna, and in my dream I was like, are you sure that'll work? I was okay with it. He was just gonna, let's just take your head off, and you know, and in my dream I was like, it was okay, you know. He's like, what did you eat before you went to bed? I was like, I don't know, but I was like, you were like, here, I can fix this. Because I couldn't get rid of, I was all stuffy and everything. So, yeah, I was like, you pulled this machete out of the garage and you were like, here, I think I can take care of it. And I was like, he was like, I was like, yeah, but the worst part is I was okay with it. I was like, you think it'll work? Okay, I'm going to do another. Oh, you know what? Instead of a star, I'm going to do a flower. I'm just going to do a flower. White. How are we? I got 10 minutes. Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to do something a little different. Let me color this white real quick. I'm not going to put this one on a skewer. I might put a little color on that one. We'll let that dry. All right, so what I'm going to do with this one is, let me find my little piece. Hold on. I brought something. The question is, what did I do with it? Okay, so here's this one. And you could do it, you could have done it the other way. You could have had it, folded it that way, and then the stars would have been inside. And the stripes would have been on the outside. So let me, what did I do with that little piece? Oh, here it is. Okay. So you know these little napkin, not napkin, curtain clips, curtain rings. I have a whole bunch of these in a little, my little crafty stash over here. So I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to, hang on a second. I'm going to take fabric, strips of fabric. Well, I kind of want them longer. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to take this. I'm just going to tear some strips of fabric. And y'all, I always tear it in the wrong direction. Let's see if this works. It works. Okay. It might still be in the wrong direction, but it worked. All right, so I'm going to tear a couple of these. Yeah, I'm going in the wrong direction. It's not tearing straight, but I want them long like that. to do with this. A few more. Okay, that should be enough. All right, so I'm going to take these. Y'all don't forget, Jean is up after me. Clifton's Crafty Casa. Mi Casa. I saw a sign at Buc-ee's that I didn't get it because I was like, I should make something like that. But it said, you know the little signs you see that say, like, Mi casa es su casa, my house is your house. It said, Mi casa es su casa, but mi taco is mi taco. And I want that sign so bad, but I want to make my own. I thought that was so cute. Oh, I got this string all over me now. All right, got 5 minutes. I can do this. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to take these little strips that I did, and I've got this little curtain clip, and I'm just going to, I just folded, here, do another one. I'm just going to take the long strip, fold it in half, or hold it in half like that. I'm going to take that loop, feed it, oops, and just kind of loop it onto, you know what I'm talking about. Like you would do a luggage tie, like on your suitcase or whatever. Just pull it through, tie, or you could tie it on there any way you want. But I'll do a couple of these. I love tacos too. I told y'all I've gained weight. I haven't been there lately, but I'd gotten into this kick. I lost some weight last year, but I've gained some of it back already. But Taco Bell had that stupid taco, that crispy chicken cantina taco. And I swear, I went to Taco Bell more in those 2 weeks than I have in my entire life. Oh my gosh. I don't know what was in that taco, but it was so good. I kept wanting to get in one. It was, it's a crispy chicken cantina taco. Because it's almost like they melt the cheese on the outside of the shell. It's almost like they grill it or something, like a grilled cheese. But it's a crispy shell taco. It's so good. And we have to pass Taco Bell to get to our house. We'd be going somewhere, and I was like, you want to get a taco? And Greg's like, no. Which is not like him. Normally, he's always up for food. I was like, I don't know what it is about that taco. You know, I got on a kick one time with the birthday cake milkshake at Zaxby's. And me and Callie, I was like, we would go to the gym. This was years ago. We'd go to the gym, and on the way back, I was like, we worked out really hard. We should get a milkshake. Y'all, I would call up there because they would say, we're out of the milkshakes. So I would call to see if they had them. And we pulled up to the window one day. And I was like, do y'all have the birthday cake milkshake? And the guy was like, did you call earlier? Callie was like, Mom. I was like, that wasn't me. It was me. But I was hooked on them. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. So I took this little curtain ring, curtain clip, and I just put the little streamers on there. And then I'm going to take, it's got the little pincher clip. Oh, I got to put my, I can put this on in a minute. I'm going to take my little, I got to put my little button on it. On the back, I'm going to glue the little pincher part, the little part of the pincher part, pincher. I'm going to glue that on the back. Let me see. Just going to glue one side of it to the back. And then So you can take it, so it's like this. You can do more, that you could do some white or whatever, but you can go up and just clip this onto something and have a little decoration. Now, I would probably do a little bit more. I would probably add some white in here with it. It's a lot of red. But you can just clip that on, like, I don't know, if you have like something out on your back porch, you want to clip this to it like on a wreath or a little door hanger or anything like that. But now it just makes it a little clip on. But I'm gonna glue this on here. Okay, my time is about up. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. So if you're not already following or join the Vintage Country Crafting Friends, if you're watching from there, all you have to do is refresh your page and it'll take you right to the next presenter as soon as mine ends. But if you're not, go check it out. It's Janice's group, and the next presenter is Jean at Clifton's Crafty Casa. So thank y'all for hanging out. Isn't that cute though? Well, I'm going to do something in the middle of this little flower, but now it's a little clip-on the back. You can just clip that on something. Isn't that cute? I do think these would be cute if you did them smaller and do like a string of them as a garland. It'd be so festive. All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all later.